Happy National Vinyl Record Day. I'm Toy Insanity. Today is August 12th. And that means it's National Vinyl Record Day on the Insanity calendar. That's Liberty Insanity 102. The day after National Hip Hop Day is National Vinyl Record Day. Interesting. It's been around for over 22 years. And today I have the occasion of sharing with you the 1949 Broadway musical, Miss Liberty. There's some bangers on here. Do you know anything about vinyl? Let's see. I think the first track is just an instrumental.
With you, I'd like to spark with you, having a plate develop in the dark with you. What? Nothing I wouldn't do to get my picture took with you.
All right.
From the French across the ocean, it was sent to me and you. And now I'd like to call upon and hear a word or two from our friend.
So listen, there's a synopsis here. You can watch the whole thing. You can listen to the whole thing on YouTube. It's an interesting story. I think it has to do with fraud. I think it has to do with catfishing, if you think about it. But yeah, 1949, Irving Berlin. We know Irving Berlin because of White Christmas, Dreaming of a White Christmas, and maybe you know Annie Gets Your Pew Pew. But do you know Miss Liberty? We're going to explore Miss Liberty. It says right here, Miss Liberty opens in New York's Printing House Square in 1885 during the circulation war between Joseph Pulitzer's World and James Gordon Bennett's Herald. Okay, that's a real historic thing. Mr. Pulitzer, it seems, has promoted his subscription for the base of the statue given by the people of France to the people of the United States. That was always the agreement. France would build and provide Lady Liberty's statue. The U.S. had to fund and build the base. And a lot of that funding, you know, because we didn't have the glamorous part of the project, it was delayed for years and years. The statue was done at least 2 years before the base really was even started. And it was by far the more complicated part of the process. Anyway, Pulitzer steps in, real life, and he starts a fundraiser.
Monique, can't the two of us go out someplace together?
You have no money? I have no money. There's no place we
I'm
can
telling you,
go.
this is actually a good story.
Paris.
All right, so Pulitzer, he sends this dude,
Can just go out.
In your
a photographer.
you have no money. What do you do?
Anyway, the dude's name is Horace Miller. He sends him to Paris. They're trying to find out, because everybody in New York, once the statue's complete or nearly complete, 1885, everyone's enamored by her beauty, and everyone's trying to figure out who the model was. So Pulitzer sends his journalist his name's Horace, to Paris to try to get to the bottom of this. It says he immediately meets this lady Macy. At her instigation, he decides to go to Paris, blah, 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 blah. In Paris, Scarpa Bartholdi has interviewed would-be models, among them Monique Dupont. She assumes the pose of the statue. Okay, so Monique is the fraud. She assumes the pose of the statue, and at that moment, Horace arrives under the impression that Monique is the model. And it even says who, in fact, was Bartholdi's mother. That is believed to be true. Hang on. I'll tell you, there's some bangers on here. If you ever learned Emma Sonnet's poem, The New Colossus, as a song, it comes from this musical. Okay. He takes her picture, and he cables Macy, his GF back in NY, and he tells that he has found the model. In New York, Macy presents Horace's coupe to Bennett, who agrees to sponsor Miss Liberty's American tour and offers Macy a job, but her mind is on Horace. She refuses. Back in Paris, Monique, who lives under a bridge with her disreputable old grandmother, calls herself Countess, dances joyously at a lamplighter, sings about the fabulous city. Paris wakes up and smiles. Horace arrives with the news that he is to take her to America, and Monique, who does not know that he believes her to be the model, is overjoyed. The Countess shows the approval of Horace by telling him blah, 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 blah. All right, B-side wins again.
Every word, with every look, with
with every word you don't say.
As you might
Well,
expect,
take him. If he were a real man and he'd come here to me, nothing could have stopped him. You can
my
have
vinyl
him.
records started melting in the 150-degree heat.
Fighting for. Besides, there's plenty
But this
more
song's a banger.
where he came from. I don't want him. You can
As the
have
second
him.
act
He
opens,
isn't my
Horace, Monique,
concern,
and the Countess arrive in New
and
York
he can just return where he
to great
came
acclaim from the populace. Monique is horrified to discover that she's supposed to be Miss Liberty, but agrees to the deception to protect Horace. Maisie is disturbed by the evident affection between Monique and Horace, and when Monique returns from a nerve-wracking tour, Maisie steals her into a hotel room to talk to her. Each girl is so impressed by the other's honesty that they together make a joint renunciation. You can have them. That's what this track is, man. This should blow up on TikTok. Falling out of love can be fun, and then it ends on
Coffee and some buttered toast. Wake him gently with a breakfast tray. After breakfast, clear the things away.
there we go.
Breakfast that would please him most. Eggs and coffee and some buttered toast. Wake him gently with a breakfast tray. After breakfast, clear the things away. Bring the paper that would make it red. Spend the balance of the day in bed so you see. Trifle silly, taking him away.
Anyway, it ends on a happy note with this banger. This is Emma Lazarus' poem put to music. Yes, okay. Send thee the tempest tossed to me. You're tired, you're poor, you're huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. This is what I'm talking about. On National Vinyl Record Day. It's Liberty, baby. Those were the days. 1949. Harry S. Truman in charge. DJ Hero.
I would look a trifle silly, taking him away from you. That was never my intention. All I ever wanted to do.
By the way, she's supposed to be French.
While he soundly slept, raid the icebox where the food is kept. Cook a breakfast that would please him most. Eggs and coffee and some buttered toast. Wake him gently with a breakfast tray.
Here comes the line. Here comes the line.
Clear the things away.
Get ready for the drop.
The paper that would make it red.
Shoot. I messed it up. I messed everything up.
Now I know you're really in with every word you don't.
I don't want him, you can have him, he isn't my concern, and he can just return where he came from. I would look a trifle silly, taking him
Raid the icebox where the food is kept. Cook a breakfast that would please
One more time.
him most. Eggs and coffee and some buttered toast. Wake him gently with a breakfast tray. After breakfast, clear the things away. Bring the paper that would make it red. Spend the balance of the day in bed so you see.
Dude. Imagine that. Imagine that, like a breakcore version with the drop. Anyway, happy Vinyl Records Day. Aug 12th. Goodbye.